All right, welcome in here. Monday Fun Day here on the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com. As we got quite the slate of games going on here tonight, but maybe even better than that, we've got quite the group of guys that are going to break down some of these games for you, see if we, in fact, can't find a couple of edges that we like, as we're right around the 14-15 game remaining mark in the regular season. Of course, playoffs will be here before we know it. And we've got three of the best at WagerTalk.com today as we welcome back in the Prophet, Mr. Ski Prophet in the house, as is Mr. Zino, ready to roll here tonight, and RC ready to start doling out some winners here tonight. Gentlemen, let's get it rolling here if we could, because we got ourselves a nice contrarian play of the day. And we're going to take a look here at, well, you know who it is. It's going to be the Jazz. Who else? Taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves. Is this number just a hair here? 6.5 we're seeing. Nobody wants to bet the Utah Jazz unless it's involved with an over. Well, maybe the contrarian gods are onto something here tonight. Ski, what are you thinking here, man? Is it just too much love for the Timberwolves, or do you think the Jazz might have a little something here tonight?
Yeah, I absolutely think it's too much love for the Timberwolves. These teams have played 3 times, and let's remember Rudy Gobert used to play for the Jazz as well. They lost all 3 times by double digits, but they were at a rest disadvantage all 3 of those games. You look at Minnesota now, it's them at a disadvantage. It's the last game of a 6-game road trip. They didn't have to travel from this last one, but I still think the rest of the road trip wears on them. It's the front end of a back-to-back. They have Denver tomorrow, and I mean, you can all guess which game they care more about between that one and this one tonight. Last 5 games, Jazz have been the better offense, the better rebounding team. Jazz 22-11 against the spread at home. Give me those 6.5 points.
Ooh, taking them 6.5 and running. All right, Zino. This is about as ugly as it gets, and nobody does ugly like you. So come on, talk to me here, man. Are you in agreement with the contrarian gods tonight?
First of all, leave my personal life out of this. Number 2, look, I agree with Ronnie philosophically. Here's the problem. In the last 15 games, the Utah Jazz have only won 3 of them. That was against San Antonio, Washington, and Atlanta. Those are 3 bottom 5 defenses in the league, and Minnesota is the exact opposite of that. I don't want to lay it with Minnesota on the second of a back-to-back, especially playing the same team here, but this just kind of feels like an under game to me, where more than anything, there's not going to be a lot of points scored. Minnesota's not going to work too hard to have to win this game. I mean, again, I lean with Utah with Ronnie. I think it's too many points on the second half of the back-to-back. They won by 19 last night. Some of that should come back down. But can you really play Utah at this point? Like, aren't they tanking to preserve a draft pick? Aren't they doing that at this point in time to secure that their protected pick stays protected? So I feel like this is just a really bad spot here. Again, it would be Jazz or pass for me, but I would probably look to the under in this game as well.
All right, look at maybe a little bit towards the under. RC, help us out here, man. What are you thinking? Ski and the contrarian gods on to something here with the Jazz?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Ski brought up a lot of the situational pieces, right? I think both teams sort of on that fatigue spot, right? Jazz, 3rd game in 4 nights, 4th and 6th as well. But the Wolves been traveling a lot. 6 straight road game for the Wolves here. Also, first leg of back-to-back games. And Ski brought up, a good point with the Nuggets on deck here. I mean, obviously that would be the more important game, in my opinion. One thing that I was looking at, I mean, like I said, he brought up a lot of the situational pieces. So I'll bring up some trends here. I mean, I think if you look at the Wolves here, they tend to struggle on the front end of back-to-back games, especially as favorites. 2-5 ATS in that spot so far this season. And then Jazz, typically they're strong at home. Obviously, they weren't able to take care of business in the last matchup, just a couple of days ago, but they were unrested. If you look at the Jazz as home dogs with rest, like they are coming into this one, 13-4 ATS on the season. So a lot of things really pointing in the direction of the Jazz here. So I agree with the contrarian gods.
Well, that was easy enough. I think we got everything we need there. So we've got the Utah Jazz 6.5, as disgusting as it is still some value on that play there. All right, we got a featured matchup here tonight as the New York Knicks taking on the Golden State Warriors. No Anunoby tonight, so of course the market completely overreacts and shoots this thing up here as if the Knicks aren't capable of slowing down the Golden State Warriors without him. What are you thinking here, Ski, tonight? Is this a side or a total game, you think?
Well, I disagree with you. I don't think they're capable of slowing down anybody without Anunoby.
Ooh.
Especially a Warriors team who's hungry and, same record as the Lakers, but in that ninth spot as far as the play-in. 3 games out of the regular playoff spot. I think the Warriors come to play here. You have the Knicks' 4th game in 6 nights versus 2nd game in 5 days for the Warriors. And they've just been playing better. They've covered 14 of their last 20. I would have my money on them before the Knicks, even though I don't love laying this many points with the Warriors at home. As far as the total is concerned, I really wanted to get there with the under. Matter of fact, I did get there with the under. And I hardly ever do this, but I bought out. And the reason is Anunoby. I just don't trust the Knicks defense without him. I've seen too many teams light them up. So I wanted to get there with under, but that scares me.
Yeah, 213 is an open down to 211 now, but that line moved 2 points there. Zin 4.5 to 6.5 now. Which way are you leaning? Knicks keep this thing close, maybe even pull out the upset?
Before I told you to stay out of my personal life. Now I'll bring my personal life back in it because I in high school scored more than the Knicks do right now. Like that's what it boils down to. This is an offense that over the last 5 games is averaging just 96 points per game. In 1996, that was cool. In 2024, not so much. They haven't scored more than 107 points this month and have only scored more than 110 3 times in their last 16 games. Now, I know the Golden State defense hasn't been great. In certain cases, bad. But do you really believe the Knicks offense could take advantage of anything here other than Jalen Brunson? Like, at this point, I don't. Like, if the Knicks are going to have a breakout game, I'll tip my cap to them and are willing to, say it was bound to happen eventually. And I'm willing to live with the loss. But I'd back Golden State here, minus 4.5. I know the number ballooned up. I don't know if I'd endorse it when we get to the 6-7 range where it is right now. But I think Golden State's the right side. Game is more important to them at this point in time. They're 15-7 against the number in the second half of the season, 16-9 ATS against the East, and 7-3 ATS after 3 games on the road. They're returning home after a 3-game road trip. So give me the Warriors tonight, minus 4.5.
RC, if this number climbs any higher, man, they're going to force me to bet the Knicks here. Because it's not like they don't have anything to play for either. But 4.5 to 6.5, it's not like the Knicks are scheduling losses at this point, trying to secure home court. So what do you think we're going to get here tonight with them?
I mean, from a side perspective, it's kind of tough. I mean, like, I think Ski brought up the impact of OG, and obviously he's not going to be on the court. And from a spread perspective, I think he affects them tremendously. I think when he's not on the court, I looked at this from January 29th, when he initially was out of the lineup, right? 8-10 straight up, 6-12 ATS. But one thing that I kind of disagree with Ski is on the total. I know he said with OG out, you can't look towards the under, but they're actually 14-4 to the under when OG is out of the lineup, and he's going to be out of the lineup today. I think one piece of it is just like the fact that their offense really struggles regardless because Randall's not there, right? I know their defense isn't as great, but they're still pretty decent defensively. These are the numbers. The last 18 games when OG is not in the lineup, they're averaging a combined score of 210.9 points per game. So I mean, these are low-scoring games, low-paced games. Both of these teams, I mean, well, at least the Knicks, they're in a little fatigue spot here, 4th and 6 for them. 3rd of a 4-game Western Conference road trip. They also have some rest after this game, but their next game is against the Denver Nuggets. Obviously, everyone wants to show up against the Nuggets here. Warriors, they're somewhat of a flat spot as well. First game home off a 3-game road trip. Potential letdown after beating the Lakers outright as dogs. And actually, I looked at this here. After they win as a dog in their previous game, they're actually 5-1 to the under. So it seems like they tend to bring some momentum on the defensive side of the ball into their next game here. So really the way that I was looking at it was actually towards the under here. if you look at the last 23 games, like recent form here, we're 17-6 to the under. And I mentioned, OG obviously went with him in the lineup, 15-2 to the under, but they were trending to the under even without him during this period as well. So to me, I would still look towards the under here. I know it came down from the open from 212 to 211. OG gets announced out, and I think it just stayed there. I think it stayed at around 211, 211 and a half. So to me, I think the under is still the way to go.
Warriors 10-17 as a home favorite this year. Good God, against the number. All right. Well, maybe running to play 6.5 with them, but should be an interesting game here, Knicks. Let's see what you got tonight. And of course, we do have a couple of interesting totals on the board. We just discussed the under dropping in this game. How about we take a look at the Hawks and the Lakers here tonight? I believe we've got a 225 and a half in this one. Hawks have been, they hit the under again last night against the Clippers there, Ski. Not exactly your Trae Young's Hawks anymore, are they? Interesting spot here. Are you buying? It seems like a high number. I mean, is the value on the under here, or do you think over is the way to go?
I think over is the way to go. I mean, for one, I mean, what day was it yesterday? St. Patty's. You know what everybody does on that day?
Yeah, that's a good
You know what teams do when they go to LA for an extended time. And this Hawks team just played the Clippers. They got to stay in LA and enjoy the holiday and come be in LA again. I just don't think there's a whole lot of defense to be played from that side. And the Lakers, their offense has been really good because they're actually starting to run plays for about the past few weeks. So I like what I'm seeing in that regard. I think this one gets up and over the total.
Oh, all right. There you go. Up and over there. Looking at some value there, Zen. What are you thinking here? Points, and more points?
I mean, you have to look at the Atlanta offense over the course since the beginning of March, when a Trae officially went down. I mean, you run down their scores. They've gotten over 110 just twice since the beginning of March. 3 times rather, with that Utah game that they lost. I'm seeing a bunch of 102s, 103s, 99s, 97s. I mean, it just feels like, along with what Ski is saying, that there's not going to be a lot of defense. I don't know if the Hawks are going to have much offense. I mean, like, if it's not DeJounte Murray filling up the bucket, who really is left? I'm not sure they really have any, depth in shooting or anything else. I mean, I kind of, lean a little bit towards the under here. Typically on back-to-backs, if there is a little bit of a sluggishness, that it shows up on the offensive end with missed shots and tired legs. And I, to a certain extent, I almost like would look at this game as a Lakers team total over. If you think there's points going to be scored, look at it that way. Because I just don't see that the Hawks should be able to muster up enough to do enough to be able to push it up and over this total. That's my biggest concern.
Yeah, it's well, let's face it. I mean, we're laughing at it was 227, 228. 227, 227 and a half. Now we're seeing 225 and a half. So the market's coming down on this one, RC. Are you in that camp, or do you think that maybe they got it wrong? We should be looking at the over in this one.
Yeah, I think it might be moving just because of possible injury news. Maybe some players are expected to be out. They haven't been officially out yet, but for the most part, I can only look towards the over as well. I know, Zeno mentioned a lot of things on the Hawks offensive side of the ball, but I'm going to talk about this game from a side perspective later, but I think it affects the total as well. The Hawks really struggle defensively in these fatigue spots. They're on the back-to-back. They're also on the third of 4. But when I look at these types of numbers that I'm seeing in these situations here, Hawks are giving up 122.8 points per game when unrested, but facing a team that is rested. That's the situation today. They're giving up 121.2 per game when playing their third game in 4 nights, including 125.7 per game when on the road. To me, I just feel like fatigue is going to play a major factor in how the Hawks play today. And I think regardless of who's in the lineup tonight for the Lakers, they're going to push the pace. They're going to maintain that offensive efficiency throughout the game. And if you want to pivot and kind of leave the Hawks out of it, maybe just take the Lakers team total over. That might be the way to go there.
Yeah, don't hate that idea either. Not a bad look there here tonight, guys. Lakers taking on the Hawks. And pretty interesting slate. I believe 8 games total here tonight means 8 dogs. That means some of them are going to be barking here. Robert, let's check out what kind of disgustingness Zeno's going to choose from here tonight.
That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. That's my dog. And anybody got to say anything, you let me know. That's my dog.
All right, man, there ain't enough bourbon in the house to take some of these ugly ass dogs. Let's see here. Cavs, you got Heat, we got Jazz, the Grizz, shocker, Hawks, Knicks, the Blazers, and the Pistons getting over 2 touchdowns here. This is some disgustingness here, Ski. I know you ain't going to Heat. You ain't got that kind of dog in you. So tell me what you're looking at here tonight. Who are you looking at?
Well, I like a couple, and I don't want to repeat one, and I don't want to take somebody else's. So what I'm gonna do is, I don't know how much the Celtics are interested in this game. I'll go with the biggest one on the board, the Pistons. The Celtics, if you like them, I feel like you should just take them first half. Who knows who's all going to end up playing today. I know they're also missing a couple guys, but they do have Milwaukee on deck. It's not tomorrow, but I do think they'll care more about being rested and healthy for that game. And just because of that, I'll try to fade the Celtics with the biggest dog of the day.
Oh man, you see that? He's going for some girth there, Zin. He going for the big boys there. Give me that big mama right there. 15 and a half. You prefer more of the 3 teeth kind. So which one are you going with here now tonight?
Believe it or not, I'm gonna lean on the Cavs here. I don't trust the Pacers. I think they're an inconsistent team. I think that when you look at Cleveland just philosophically as a team, they play good defense all around. I know you got no scoring. You're not going to have any Donovan Mitchell in this game. Max Strus is going to be out again. But still, that's not going to prevent them from playing enough defense to keep this game close with Indiana. I look at these games that are sort of within conference, and look, the Pacers have won the first 2 so far. Maybe there's a little bit more dog in the Cavaliers tonight. I mean, this number's already come down from 8 down to 6.5. So I'll follow the money here and take the Cavs.
Ooh, all right, taking the Cavs here tonight. Indiana. Looking to make a nice little run here in the last couple of weeks. RC, what are you thinking here, man? There's a little something for everyone on the board here. A couple of big double-digit ones as well. What are you looking at?
Maybe let's go to one of the double-digit dogs here, the Grizzlies. I mean,
Woo!
I know their offense has been struggling recently, but they got Bane back, and I think this is his second game back now. Typically, you want to kind of fade them in the first game back when a key player comes back, but hopefully he has some legs under him right now. One thing that I was kind of looking towards in fading this Kings team here is how they do against against the double-digit line here. As double-digit favorites, they're 6-1. 1-6 ATS. 0-5 ATS when at home specifically. Opponents up and over their team total in all 5 of those games. So they tend to let up defensively against these lower tier teams, and that's probably what might get the back door open here for the Grizzlies. So Grizzlies plus 10.5 might be the dog of the day there.
Ooh, that is some ugliness. And by the way, we should point out here that the market is moving as we're starting to see 6s popping up for Utah there, Ski, now. So apparently we've convinced some people here to run to the window and back the Utah Jazz with the contrarian gods there. So good stuff there. 5.5 just popped right now there with the Timberwolves and Utah. So off and running here, guys. It is best bet time. You know how it works. 60 seconds on the clock. These guys can do whatever the hell they want with it, provided they give us a best bet. And Ski, lay it out for us here, man. Where are you looking for a best bet here tonight?
I'll go back to that Pacers and Cavaliers game, and I will look at the Cavaliers. This is the Pacers' 4th game in 6 nights. You have the Cavaliers in an in-season triple revenge spot. They're coming off of a loss as a favorite, so it's a bounce-back spot for them. They're the more rested team. It's only their 2nd game in 5 days, and they've been solid in this role. They're 9-5 as a road dog when they play competition. Their competition being greater than 55% win teams. They're 18-11 against the spread. So I think and also I'll say this: the Pacers have been playing better defense lately, but they're not the kind of team I trust to do it consistently. So until they prove me wrong, I'll fade them whenever they're laying points like this. Give me the Cavs plus the 6.5. I think they can even win this game.
If it ain't broke, we ain't fixing the Cavs. It is here tonight, therefore, Ski. Mark Zinno, you, my man, have got still a little ugly left. I know you do, man. Where are you going for a best bet here tonight?
I'm going to look a little unconventional here and go to the Celtics Pistons game. However, I'm going to take the Celtics first half team total over 59. I know you have some injury questions here with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. If one of them plays, I feel okay about this. This is a Detroit team that averages giving up 61.5 points in the first half on the road this year and 60 points for the season. Hey, the Boston Celtics, you know what they are? The number one team in the NBA in first half scoring at 63.6 points per game. Last 5 games, Celtics averaging 69.2 in the first half here. They're going up against a bad defensive team. There's nothing better than the Celtics would like to jump out to an early lead and be able to coast and rest their guys as they get set for, the rest of this regular season. And they got a 2-game homestand before they get Milwaukee next. So I know these guys would love to be able to rest tonight a little bit with an easy coasting win. They get out to a big league early. We get over 59 and a half for the first half of the Boston Celtics.
Ooh, like it. All right, Porzingis looks like he's probable. Just waiting on Tatum, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown. One of them plays up and over the first half, says in there tonight for the Celtics against the Pistons. RC, come on, my man. 60 seconds left here. Where are you going for a best bet here tonight?
Yeah, I'm going back to that Lakers and Hawks game there. The Hawks, like I mentioned, struggle in the fatigue spot, major fatigue spot here for the Hawks, second of back-to-back, 3rd and 4, 4th and 6, 4th of a 5-game road trip. Also, 7 of their last 9 games have been on the road as well, so a lot of traveling there. So obviously the Lakers, they have the rest advantage. Bit of a bounce-back situation here after losing outright to the Warriors as well, and they got the revenge spot. They're looking to avenge 138 to 122 loss earlier this season. Obviously the Lakers didn't have AD for that game there, but I think they kind of want to bounce back here in that spot. One thing that I was looking at from a trend perspective, the Hawks 1-7 ATS when unrested versus rested opponents. Another thing to mention, that the travel fatigue, the fatigue spot, 4-11 ATS when playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, including 0-3 as road dogs, losing by an average margin of 15.4 points per game. This is a situation where I think the Lakers can take advantage. I think the number is high for a reason. So take the Lakers -9.
Ooh, he ain't scared. Hell no. Landon with the Lakers getting it done here tonight against them ugly-ass Hawks. My goodness, that season can't end quick enough. All right, guys, one more time. We do have, of course, a recap for those entirely too lazy to see just how ugly Zinno goes here tonight. We're going to go Celtics first half team total, and I don't blame you. Nobody want to throw up like that. Over 59 in the first half there, provided Tatum or Brown goes. The Cavs, says Ski, 6.5. Terrible spot for the Pacers here tonight. He'll take the 6.5. And you know what? The Lakers, they are a 9-point favorite for a reason, and that is up from 8.5. So the money coming in on the Lakers to handle business tonight against the Hawks. And if you want to handle business, now would be a good time for you guys to partner up here with these 3 guys, whether it be Mark Zinno, whether it be Ski Profit, whether it be RC, Ronald Kabang. Head over to their page, guys. Best bets are locked and loaded. It's a great card here tonight in the NBA. March Madness just around the corner. And, oh, yeah, I know Ski knows it. Dodgers are playing in a couple of days, Ski. Damn, baseball is always back here, people. Should be an awful lot of fun. A lot of great ways in order to make it a very profitable week here. But it starts by visiting Ski, Mark, or Ronald over at WagerTalk.com. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, make plans, guys. Come back and join us again tomorrow. We got another NBA tip-off show here. Lighter slate tomorrow, but already some crazy line movement. So come back and join us again tomorrow for the NBA Tip-Off Show. Until then, we'll see you soon. Best of luck with those plays tonight, guys. We appreciate it.